topic at hand. We're going to be playing a little game that I've come up with. My idea, totally original. It's basically push, bury, fire. Okay, so you know if you're into like little drinking games or whatever you want to play them, like what was it? Marry,
Kill,
marry,
smash. And avoid.
Yeah.
Or marry, kill, sleep, or
them kind of games. It's basically that, but for WWE. All right. So who we want to push, who we want to bury, and who do we want to fire? The three superstars. Okay. So yeah, this should be cool. So I got about 6 different scenarios. So yeah, I'll just list out the 3, and then I'll call you guys out which ones who you would want to bury, push, and fire. Okay. Okay. First up. Who would you want to push, bury, or fire? Liv Morgan, Shayna Baszler, Nikki Cross. Mr. Rhymes, I'll go with you.
Oh, you're gonna be first. So for me, I would push Liv Morgan, fire Shayna Baszler, bury Nikki Cross.
Wow. Fire Shayna. Why?
Only because, one, I've always said this, I don't dislike Shayna Baszler. However, I said from the very get-go that she was not main roster quality. I said that. Even though she's in the same league or in the same field as Ronda Rousey or even Sonya Deville, she's not either one of those two. She was never going to make it, in my opinion. And I said that. And where is she now? So, I said that from the get-go. I honestly think that if you're gonna keep her around in general, then yeah, put her back on NXT where she was actually flourishing and she was doing something. But given how we are right now, and you give me those stars, yeah, push Liv Morgan, fire Shayna Baszler, bury Nikki Cross. I will go with that.
Okay.
Only because Liv Morgan is a fresh face and we're overdue a first-time champion. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Right.
Do you know what? I'm putting my WWE hat on. I'm trying to go with my own views, but also still fit the mold of the company.
Okay.
And I think Liv Morgan is their ideal, and that's why she would get the push. I think Shayna Baszler is still a valuable asset, so still don't lose her, keep her. But
you don't want to
get buried. Yeah, well, you see, when you bury her, you lose her, innit? And I love Nikki Cross. I think Nikki Cross is the most likable for me, but I think if you put those 3 together, I think she's the least one that's of a loss.
For you?
So push Liv, bury Shayna, and unfortunately fire Nikki.
Okay, all right. My one would actually be exactly what you are, right? So I would definitely push Liv Morgan, definitely 100%. For the time being, bury Shayna Baszler, if I had to, but keep her under my watch. And Nikki Cross, just the way how she's being portrayed as currently, and how she's now just a very loud Scottish woman.
Well, she's meant to be the crazy one that.
But she ain't crazy.
Alexa Bliss keeps her grounded.
It's WWE's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
like it's not NXT crazy. And she was awesome in that. She was like the little thing she had with Aleister Black, like I know your secret, all this kind of, and then like when she was Insanity and like
right.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's different. It's now goofy.
It's not
Yes,
goofy.
yes,
It's like
yes,
it kind of reminds me of that Dean Ambrose shit. It's it's meant to be it's a psychotic lunatic, and then but
then here's your chance to push her in the right direction.
maybe, but Liv Morgan has more potential. Not because like you can see that she's developed a lot in the ring, and like she has a lot of potential.
She's got range.
She's got range, 100%. So yeah, I would have to make the sacrifice of future endeavoring. Nikki Cross.
And why wouldn't you push Shayna? Because I was surprised at that. I thought that would be your go-to.
Like I said, for the time being, I think she if I did base it off these current events right now, she's had a great run in NXT. I wouldn't want to lose her, so keep her under my umbrella.
Got you.
And bury her for the time being. As long as you can't, which is kind of currently going on right now.
Cool.
All right. Next up, who would you push, fire, and bury? Lesnar, Reigns, and Dean Ambrose.
As Dean Ambrose, not Moxley.
No, not Moxley.
Okay. push Reigns, Barry Lesnar, fire Ambrose.
Fuck. Wow. Sorry, excuse my language. That is mad. Okay.
Why is that mad? Why is that mad?
Why fire Dean Ambrose?
Because I was never a Dean Ambrose fan. I've always said this, like, consistent. Like, in the Shield, he was the mouthpiece, but then he was just never my go-to guy. When they broke up, I've always rode for Rollins, I've always rode for Reigns, but then I got tired of Reigns because I just... Reigns fizzled out like it did for everyone else, so I guess I just jumped on that train. But then, I've just never been a Dean Ambrose fan. I just never kind of rode for him like that. I don't know why, he just never popped up for me. He was always boring, he was always kind of like, meh.
Okay, so push the Reigns, fire Lesnar. Sorry, Barry Lesnar.
Yeah, keep Lesnar there, but then he can be used in the capacity that Braun Strowman was. He gets like built up and then fed to whomever. Like you know,
okay,
I'm fine with that.
All right, right.
See, this is a weird one. I almost wanted to fire Ambrose just because we know that by Ambrose leaving, we get Moxley in AEW.
All right.
If I'm supposed to just have tunnel vision and forget about AEW, then I would push Ambrose, Barry Reigns, fire Lesnar.
Ooh.
Okay, all right. Why fire Lesnar?
I just don't think he's essential, and
even though he's a big draw.
They say he's a big draw.
Yeah.
Are you
In
more,
WWE's eyes,
as a fan, because they like to tell you what you like, do you actually feel I'm more interested in this program because Lesnar's involved?
Not anymore.
I don't.
So, yes, he's got the name, but
yeah.
it's just another superstar essentially, and it's about they could make another Lesnar.
Yeah,
it's just about
100%.
I don't feel like they could because like for how many years it's been.
Nah, it's nothing to do with that.
No, but how many years it's been since we've had a John Cena? They've had so many years to make another John Cena. They cannot do it because essentially that should be Roman Reigns right now. It's not.
Listen, yeah, but you're saying it's not, but it is. Like we might not like it, but he's up there. It's not about whether you like it or not. It's about the position. You can pick someone out of obscurity or whatever,
obscurity,
and make them anything. You could give me someone who's just not a tiny guy, someone who's of size, but who's not really doing anything.
Someone who's of size who's not doing anything.
Like who's got decent body size, but is like a jobber.
No, I wouldn't say like a jobber.
No, jobber, not mid card, jobber.
Someone who's of size who's just a jobber. Jinder Mahal.
No, he's former champion. Jobber, like
Chad Gable.
No, Shorty G.
Okay.
It's hard to say now with how the roster being away, but you get my point. They could just pick someone who would normally be wrestling on main event.
That's how I was going to, but it's
Mojo Rawley.
Okay,
Mojo.
All they've got to do, repackage his whole gimmick. They could even change his name, whatever. Push the guy. Give him a couple wins over credible. If you put him in a feud with Seth Rollins or Rey Mysterio or Braun Strowman, you give him that win and you keep doing it slowly, not fast like Jinder Mahal. After a year and a bit, he will be believable. You will accept that he's a main event and that's your next star. You can pick anybody.
But when I'm saying that, I'm not saying that we're picking just the main event stars and stuff for WWE because he's saying that Lesnar is a draw, right?
Okay, what I meant is they could pick a
and then you're saying that they can make anyone a star. I am saying that I feel like there has not been a star, like an overall star, like a WWE star, since John Cena. And as much as you want to say it's Roman Reigns, I don't think it is. Because Roman Reigns being in Fast and Furious didn't help Fast and Furious. John Cena in Fast and Furious helps Fast and Furious.
That's because John Cena replaced The Rock.
But what I'm saying is John Cena as a brand, he has
a bigger brand than Reigns.
Yeah, Roman Reigns, WWE have not made another star like John Cena, and they've had how many years to do it, and they haven't. The closest they probably got is the Bella Twins, and even then, they did their brand, not WWE.
I hear that, but if Rock left Fast and Furious and then was replaced by Roman Reigns, Fast and Furious isn't going to do any worse than Fast and Furious with John Cena. It's about the fact that you've now got a new star in replace of The Rock, and it just so happens to be a wrestler. That's what goes into it. Don't forget, John Cena isn't a big, massive. Like, he's still got a lot of development to do as a Hollywood actor. Like, he's not.
This will be his biggest role in the next.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? So it would work. But we're going off a tangent. It's not about movie. I'm talking about the show, the WWE product. You can make your range. You can make your Cena. You can make your Lesnar. I get it. Lesnar's a special case, but he's only a special case because they tell us he's a special case. Do you know what I mean? Like, what he did out with UFC is cool. Like, they did it with Ronda Rousey as well. Like, he's a name. He's bringing that collaborative with other companies. But ultimately they can, and we've seen it. We've seen stars who were mid card for ages and all of a sudden be big stars, and it was believable and acceptable for the most part. But anyway, going back to what I said, what did I say? I would
fire Lesnar.
Yeah, I'd fire Lesnar because I just feel like, look, we survived without him for how many years? He left in 2004. He's only around for 2 years in his first run.
Yeah.
We didn't suffer without him. And I don't think as a company, even though Vince was otherwise, I don't think WWE is better now that Lesnar's back. Since 2012, the product hasn't gotten better because of Lesnar. So
Right. Okay, I get what
you know, so Reigns and Ambrose are essential, I think. And I think we missed the boat with Ambrose. AEW is evidence of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Reigns, I think Reigns going is a loss, but he can still stay about. He doesn't need to be the big star, but even just him on the undercard, valuable.
Okay.
Wait,
Get more out of those two than you will Lesnar.
did you not know that Cena was in the next Fast and Furious?
Didn't mean no, 'cause I'm not.
Oh,
I'm
wait,
not
did you
fully
just
with
say
it.
that?
No, because I was
Oh,
saying.
you just said it as
I just said it as a kind of.
Oh, wow.
That's how I was like, wait, he's actually in the Fast and Furious. Okay, my bad.
He's
That's how
actually
exactly,
replacing
yeah.
The Rock. That's what.
And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's literally.
Because when I was talking about streets, I was talking about like Roman Reigns being in the
Hobbs and Shaw.
But
Yeah.
I'm saying that with because if you're saying that Roman Reigns essentially is replacing John Cena, and they technically really did the passing of the torches because Roman Reigns beat him and whatnot. It's like I'm saying that in terms of like a household name, I can say John Cena to people know who I'm on about and know that he's affiliated with wrestling. You know what I mean? I can say Roman Reigns and no one knows. Or people were like, who's that? Kind of thing. Like they don't know the name. So I say WWE hasn't made a star, and I guess the closest thing they've got to that right now is Brock Lesnar. I can say Brock Lesnar, people know who that is.
Is that WWE's fault? Because The Rock, he wasn't like
That was
The Rock.
That wasn't WWE.
That was not WWE's plan. He went
did
and
that
ventured
himself.
out himself. Like he wasn't in the WWE movie.
And technically,
Well, no,
Lesnar,
but
it wasn't
in-
Lesnar.
but-
It wasn't WWE. Lesnar did that on his own as well.
Yeah.
No, but in the Attitude Era, I'm saying that all of those stars
Right.
from the Attitude Era are all household names. You can say Attitude Era names. to
Oh,
people,
right,
Even,
okay.
even like mid-carders, and people know who you're on about.
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
at that time,
Everyone was younger
there
and
were
watched
stars.
it. Yeah.
But then I'm saying household names in, like, even across the board. Like even like I guess like now kids younger than us and whatnot still know like Attitude Era name stars. They're like household
That I
names.
disagree.
I've mentioned like it to like kids that are younger than me or been around it or whatnot. They're like, oh yeah, wrestlers, right? They might know them like religiously to know like, oh, okay, this is what they did and whatnot, but they know the names and they know they're affiliated with wrestling and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I think it's like pop culture, just like trivia kind of things, you know. But as opposed to like they have a vast knowledge of wrestling. But I'm saying right now, WWE does not have, I think just wrestling in general, does not have any new stars
no star
that
power.
are household names like that. Lesnar is the draw. He is a household name
Yeah.
as it stands right now. So I guess we'll get what he's saying for that. But then I also get what you're saying for us as fans. We don't need Lesnar for the show to kind of go on.
But
No, I
then
get that.
even in addition to that, on your point, not to long it out, but I don't even think Lesnar has that as much as Cena. Because what you're basically saying is I can go to my colleague at work now and say Jericho, Undertaker, and they'll know who I'm talking about even if they haven't watched wrestling in 15 years. I can also say John Cena, and even if they don't watch wrestling, they'll know who he is. Whereas if I say Reigns, you're saying that
They'll
they
be like,
might
who?
not know.
Yeah,
But
who's
to be honest, if they don't watch wrestling and they haven't watched wrestling in the past 15 years and they don't watch UFC either, they're probably not going to know Lesnar either. Because Lesnar isn't, outside of those two fields, Lesnar's done nothing.
Yeah.
But I
He
feel
doesn't do Make-A-Wish.
He hasn't got a
I
big
know,
name
but I
out,
feel like-
unless you're actually a fan like and
Of
watch
sports.
it. Like you can know you don't have to watch boxing, but you can know who Mayweather is. You can know
Yeah.
who flipping what's his name.
McGregor.
Yeah,
Oh.
you know who these guys are, whether you don't watch those sports. I don't think Lesnar has that. If you don't watch UFC, you don't watch WWE, you don't know who Brock Lesnar is. I don't think so.
Okay, I could debate that, but then again, that's a whole other thing. Because I've mentioned that name before.
Can you imagine Lesnar doing Dancing with the Stars or something?
I feel like doing that kind of show would hurt his brand, but I've mentioned
God.
when it's that thing where I brought up people and they're like, oh yeah, like tonight I'm watching the rest of the pay-per-view.
What?
And
You
they're
give
like,
me a
"Oh,
6?
fighting."
F5 the judge.
So yeah, push Ambrose. There's loads of untapped potential there from his WWE run. Barry Reigns because he's essential to keep, but he doesn't need to be the top guy, and I just wouldn't want to lose him. Lesnar, we've proven that yes, he's good, but we don't need him. We can survive that. Full stop.
What was your decision?
Pretty much like 2 for 2. Definitely.
So you have the same thing.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, I would take a loss for
that's
Lesnar because that phase is dead and gone now. The Suplex City stuff and yeah, like it. Yeah, there's it's run its
boring.
course.
It's repetitive.
It's
And
repetitive
to
now.
even further prove that point, look how dead the product was that whole time that Reigns was away, and look how dead it is now that he's away again. We like to complain about him and stuff, but you notice when he's gone.
Yeah.
Hero Reigns.
Yeah.
Whereas
That's true.
WWE did well for 2004 all the way to 2012 without him and didn't miss him.
Yeah.
There was
Okay.
no Lesnar chance. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. 100%. Okay, fair enough. Next up, who would you push, fire, or bury? Bray Wyatt, The Fiend,
wait, what?
Husky Harris.
Oh, those three.
Yeah.
So you're just doing his own
Yeah.
personas. Huh, okay.
Technically, you can't do that.
Okay.
It's the same person. You literally cannot
It
physically do that.
is the same person, but okay, so now I'm gonna have to pose the question, what Bray Wyatt are we talking about? Buzzard's Bray Wyatt?
But Buzz's Way Wyatt.
Buzzard's Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
So Buzzard's Bray Wyatt and
Yeah.
Fiend and Husky Harris.
Yeah.
I would say, if I'm gonna go first, I would push.
Push is a tough one, isn't it? Push is a tough one because there's options.
Exactly.
Do you know what? Okay, I'm gonna have to do it.
That's why I chose
Push Buzzards, bury the Fiend, and fire Husky Harris.
Oh, okay.
But then that's only because for me, Buzzards, Bray Wyatt is gonna always hold a soft place in my heart. I'm always gonna be there for
Bury
Buzzards.
the Fiend, the most coolest character right now on the
No,
roster.
but the Fiend is cool. I'm not gonna dispute that, but I'm loyal to Buzzards Bray Wyatt because I fell in love with that character, and I was so hoping that I would get that character would go somewhere.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I think you said
Yeah,
it
yeah,
right. So
yeah,
I
yeah.
think if we could rewind time and we didn't know about the Fiend, I think everybody in their right mind would have pushed Buzzard Bray. Because
Yes.
everyone was annoyed at the treatment that character got.
Right.
So yes, in hindsight, I agree. Push the Buzzard Bray. We missed the ball on that. He should be that character was the next Undertaker.
100%.
Yes.
110.
However, now that we've seen the Fiend, in comparison, regardless of how they treated or mistreated the previous Bray,
Mm-hmm.
the question is which is the better one when you look at the two. Forget about booking, just look at the two as characters. And I think the Fiend is a little bit more just cooler. Like I
The
don't
Fiend
know.
is cooler in its presentation, but then in terms of the Fiend, the unfortunate thing about the Fiend is that the Fiend doesn't stand alone. The Fiend comes with fire, fun hype,
Which
and
is
Bray
it,
Wyatt.
but it's
I
a
get
package.
that. I get that. That's the package.
Yeah.
But then in terms of just like overall eeriness and just the way that you can develop the character and the things you can do, I feel like fair enough. There's potential, untapped potential for the Fiend. But again, I'm just going to Buzzards Bray Wyatt. That's why I'm so. It's why, in a way, I can say I found it interesting or intriguing for their swamp match at Extreme Rules. But in the same breath, it's kind of like because I know it's because I don't know. Yeah.
I get what you're saying, and the argument also is, can you actually have the Fiend / the Fire Fun Fly Bray without the original Buzzards? Because that character it's not a complete repackage where we forget about the old Bray.
It's
Actually,
extension.
It's still yes. It's like three different characters.
But
now.
just for the sake of the game, I would push the Fiend / Fire Fun Fly Bray. I would bury Buzzards Bray and fire Husky Harris.
Okay.
And you're the same.
Fair enough. Yeah, I would push the Fiend because he needs it. After the destruction, like no one understands for me how destructive it was when he lost the title the way he did against Goldberg.
Yeah, that was
It was so deflating. I was literally shouting at my screen when it went for the 3 count because they just literally destroyed him. And the only way that the Fiend retaliated was have a little mini tantrum and then disappear.
right.
And then nothing about him about it afterwards. And it
Yeah.
wasn't until Braun Strowman took it and for only the Fiend to come over. So it makes it sound like as if he's afraid of Goldberg. Like he's meant to be this fearless, otherworld type of being, but you don't have a rebuttal against what Goldberg did to you. You have to wait until someone else does. Like you let some old part timer take the title away. Like.
Do you know what? There's so many reasons behind that. We talk about Saudi and Goldberg coming back, and obviously that being the big part. But
Yeah.
you never know. Maybe they wanted Bray and Cena all along, and they didn't want the title involved in that because that wouldn't need the title.
As I've often said, the Fiend as a character or Bray Wyatt as a character does not need the championship.
Yeah. So my point is, maybe it's just bad luck that it happened to be Goldberg. Maybe Bray was gonna lose at some point before Mania anyway. I don't know. Who knows? But
But
So I think that was because like, the original plan. Because remember, they reshuffled everything just before the Saudi Arabia match. It was meant to be Cena. It was meant to be Cena. It was meant to be Bray and Reigns, and it was at Mania. And then
and
then they changed it because they wanted it to be Goldberg and Reigns.
So forget what I said about Cena. It's down to Saudi and Goldberg.
That's
Prince was like, I want to see Goldberg. That's a terrible accent. Cut that out. He wants to see Goldberg, the same guy from the year 1999 or whatever. But yes, push Fiend. Very.
So I'm the only one that has the different view on things here. Okay, fine. Okay,
there was no. I'm sorry. I didn't see a string. I know that I said that they can make a star about anybody, and they technically can. But I didn't see a string of potential.
Husky Harris.
He would have just got lost in the shuffle.
No.
I mean, they could have tried to go the comedy route like with Otis, but no. Because I'm not a fan of Otis. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Can you imagine Husky Harris as like Bray Wyatt as Otis? No.
Husky Harris in the main event. The name was already a setup. Like
Husky Harris.
You've already.
Oh man.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Ain't no stopping, can't stop. Ain't no stopping me now. Ain't no stopping, can't stop. Ain't no stopping me now. Ain't no stopping, can't stop. Ain't no stopping.
Now back to our show.
Okay, next up, who would you push, fire, and bury? Adam Cole, Keith Lee, Johnny Gargano.
Yeesh.
That's a tough one.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna go with Rise with this one. Let me go with the other one.
Oh, you get to go first. Okay, cool. I'll get to think.
I was really, and I am, but I was like really, really behind Gargano for a long time. Anytime I saw his matches, even playing him on the games, like I think entrance music is great. Mm-hmm. His look is great. He was like babyface for NXT, like an old school Sami Zayn, or like whenever Ziggler was a face, like you root for him, you are invested. You genuinely feel exhausted when he has a match. Like you feel like you've been beat up too. Right. And I feel pushing him to the moon would have been epic. And I still slightly feel that, but I really like Keith Lee, man. I mean, if I keep it real, Gargano is the better wrestler and superstar.
Okay,
yeah. Of all of them, yeah. He's your guy.
Well, I'm just talking about him and Keith Lee.
Oh.
But I just think Keith Lee is, I don't know, maybe more marketable, maybe just, I don't know. It's between them. In regards to who I push, it's between them. I think I'm just gonna go with Keith Lee, and then there we go, Gargano, and I'd fire Cole.
Oh wow. Okay. Fire Cole. This one I got here. Why Cole? Why is he the victim? Why does he get featured?
I'm sick of hearing that theme song for starters, but no.
It's era is all that
it's
theme.
Not a good song.
It is.
If I'm honest, I mean, this is a really bad one for me because it's not fair for me to judge. I know the least about these guys, so that's why I prefer Cole, because I just know the least out of him out of all three.
Right. Okay.
But now I'm even second guessing about the push, man.
Why are you second guessing the push?
Because part of me wants to push Gargano.
Okay, but then in terms of like everything, so if I'm gonna piggyback off of this, because essentially that was my decision from the get-go.
To what, push Keith?
No, my decision straight from the get-go. As soon as he said that, I was like, okay, push Keith Lee, bury Gargano, and fire Cole. Only because one, I feel that Adam Cole's done it now. He's had the year-long run and whatnot. So what left is there for him to do? I wouldn't want to see him go main roster. I don't want to see him anything like that. So there's nothing left for him to do, essentially, for me in WWE. So I can get rid of him. He's expendable. Gargano, I'm always gonna have I feel like he is the kind of pulse of NXT. So you don't want to get rid of him. But then also he's had a ton of pushes. Like literally, I think every single takeover since he's been there, he's been a part of takeovers.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's Johnny Takeover.
Except for the one that I think there was only one day he was genuinely injured.
He was injured, yeah.
Right, so he's always been a part of it. So again, I can it's one of those things that, again, if you want to just keep building him up to have him lose and whatnot, which can be considered a burial, I can run with that. But then Keith Lee, again, he's still brand new to this, and he's shown, as we've seen, he is essentially the triple threat that. Okay, as much as I say Apollo Crews is, I haven't seen much mic work from Apollo Crews, but then he's the strength, he's the mouthpiece, he is the athleticism. So therefore, Keith Lee has all three. So there's no reason why he can't be like a next big star.
And when you look at all three of them, forget about how good they are in the ring, blah blah blah. When you just look at all three of them as a package, who can you actually see potentially being that star that you were talking about, Cena or the Lesnar?
I see all three of them can do it.
No, we see it because we're fans. But when you look at how WWE is and the pattern, it's Keith Lee. Like he's got the size, he's got the charisma.
That's Vince. He loves Keith Lee.
We can appreciate Cole's a sick wrestler and all of that, and great on the mic. But really, he's gonna get lost in all the towers around him, like all these tall people. Johnny Gargano, they're gonna Sami Zayn him. They're gonna bury him. Like he's gonna be that guy that you root for on main event. Like, do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, Keith Lee
has the potential to just go.
Look-wise, just look alone. Like, it's just... That's what I think.
Let's only don't Mark Henry him, good grief.
Oh, God.
There's always that potential, but let's hope. Essentially, so that's the one that I would actually agree with. I would say.
So me and Mr. Rhymes, push Keith Lee. Barry Gargano.
Fire Adam Cole.
Bye-bye, baby.
and again, like that's not a bad thing for Adam Cole. I don't dislike him. I am a fan. It's just that in this choice, he is my option to get rid of.
Now let's listen to the guy that disagrees.
I feel like you're the one that's gonna have a different take on this.
Well, actually, it's gonna be a trifecta. I actually agree. I would say the same. I would actually say the same.
You're gonna fire Cole. You're guy.
You're the Adam Cole guy. What?
When you think about it, he's actually done it all. Like I think he's got a couple of rematches like for the title, but other than that, I don't really want to see him or anyone under the Undisputed Era on the main roster because WWE is not a place that, like you said earlier, they don't like factions, they don't like stables, they do it once in a blue moon. But how I wanted them to be portrayed, it will never happen. Like we did that storyline game, and like that would have been perfect. Him against the Bloodline, Usos and Reigns, and that would have been a good start off. Never. But never.
But even if that is a good start off, it's like where do they go from there on?
Exactly.
Because unfortunately, the Undisputed Era, like I think the Undisputed Era, they're not individual stars in WWE's eyes. It's like a whole. Yeah, and they're a team that thrives off having championships. So I can't imagine they might win the tag team titles, but I can never see Adam Cole winning the big one. What, WWE or Universal?
Yeah, either one. Maybe the Universal because, but like I just can't imagine them having all. I can't imagine them being the next Evolution or the next Legacy. Right. And they deserve that. They got that NXT. Why can't they get at the main roster? You see what I'm saying? And so I think they would be better off. Hell, if you can I'll cheat and then fire all of them, and then they can go AEW and then do something else.
Oh God.
But yeah, I would 100% push Keith Lee. He has so much potential. Like one of the best on the mic. He's well spoken. You wouldn't think that he's black, And
that's an issue. Oh my God.
That's an issue. I might cut that out, but he's well spoken, great on the mic, great charisma. This authentic. Some of his stature should not be moving like that, as we all know. And he's capable of putting 4 or 5 star matches. Speaking of, Mark Henry. So yeah, definitely him. Barry Joe and Gargano. Yeah, why not? Just keep him.
But then Gargano is always going to be like a name. That's why he can he can get built up to lose and whatnot.
Yeah. But the thing is, he might get to lose, but he will put on a 5-star match.
Yeah, he can get buried in a 5-star match.
100%. Yeah, 100%. Cool. Next one. Who would you push, fire, or bury? Apollo Crews, Bobby Lashley, Andrade.
Okay.
Alright, right, what would you go? 2 for 2.
So I think this is the one that's gonna break the thing. We're not gonna agree on this at all.
Okay, alright.
I would push Lashley. I would bury Apollo, and I'd fire Andrade.
Son of a bitch! Son You done messed up, Aaron.
Oh, yo! Hey, yo!
Hey, wait.
Hey, what? No, I'm joking.
And I'll explain my reasons.
Please.
So Lashley, I get it. Like, I know why people Lashley, like, you know, old, like nothing there, but just image-wise, he should have been a champion by now. He should have been one of these top stars. He's got the look. He's got this, like, it's a missed opportunity, and you know, he proved himself in TNA. Like, he should be pushed, and he still can go. You know, I get it. We look at age, but if you didn't know his age, you wouldn't know he is that old. Like, he can go, right? I would have obviously in a perfect world loved to push Apollo, but if I'm comparing it with Lashley, I'm gonna go with Lashley. I would say Apollo is untapped potential as well. He's great. We don't need to lose him. Keep him around. He practically is being buried outside his US title run. So it's kind of like that Gargano effect where, fine, you're not gonna push him, but you're still gonna get good wrestling out of him.
Yeah.
I know some would say the same for Andrade, but out of the three Andrade, I don't mind missing Andrade. He doesn't really do anything for me. I get it. The NXT fans will be like, he was great on NXT, but I can only go by his main roster run. And
Okay, you're doing that.
do you know what I mean? It was. I'm not saying it's bad. Just like some of the people we fired previously, it's not that we don't like them. We're just looking at the scenario. I don't see Andrade as a loss. Like, you know.
Besides his feud, funny enough, Rey Mysterio, his matches on there were like 5 stars.
Yeah, and you're forgetting. Fair enough, Apollo might not have great mic skills, but like, Andrade can't speak English properly. Like, I don't know. He's already missing an it factor. Like part of an essential thing of being a superstar. You've taken that away from him. Do you know what I mean? Asuka kind of gets away with it because she's funny, but I don't know, man. Like,
Andrade needs a mouthpiece, basically. Which
But
he
then
kind
he's
of
got
does.
Zelina Vega.
yeah, but that what for the whole of his career he's gonna be dependent on a mouthpiece.
Brock Lesnar for the whole of his career.
And
depending on
Lesnar's
how he's-
clearly a dumb example because he's dumb. Like, it's Lesnar. Who else can do what Lesnar's doing? For
Well,
consistently.
if you're pushed in that direction, you could get someone that's like that. I mean, in WWE, Lesnar's mouthpiece is always Brock Lesnar. As soon as you took that away, you kind of lost that.
Bro, I don't know, and I don't mean dumb examples. You've come up with a dumb example. I mean, he's a dumb case. The fact that the company even do that with him, but they couldn't do it with anyone. Like, who has had a mouthpiece and been dead on the mic consistently for years outside of Lesnar? Tell me right now.
Okay, let's think of some people.
Nobody.
Someone who's dead on a mic and they have a mouthpiece. Yeah.
Consistently, not for a little gimmick for a few months. Consistently.
Someone who's consistently.
Nobody.
Someone who's consistently dead on a mic.
And has a mouthpiece.
Oh, Great Khali.
But he's not great on the mic though.
That if that is your example, you've proven my point.
Someone who is great on. So you're saying someone who's bad on the mic.
And has a mouthpiece consistently.
Someone who is bad on the mic and has a mouthpiece.
Or needs a flipping mouthpiece and just consistently used one. Nobody.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I guess you get better, don't you? Oh my god. Maybe Rusev?
Rusev is not good on the mic. He can't be good on the mic.
Yeah, but then Lana's more.
And Lana was not that
And
great.
he did what you just said. He got good. Maybe he wasn't great at the start, but he got good. He got to a point where he didn't need Lana.
Yeah.
Okay, but then Rusev also had Aiden English at one point too.
That was all. They were a team. That was
Yeah.
comic. Like, nah. Aiden wasn't speaking for Rusev at all by that point.
Okay.
There's no one.
Okay.
Yeah,
There's
Okay.
nobody.
Oh yeah, damn, there isn't really anyone there.
So when I go back to Andrade, what you're gonna do that? You better get some English lessons, bro. Like, you're gonna be world
And it's got Charlotte as well.
That's not offensive. You're gonna be world heavyweight champion of a Western world company. You better learn English. Like what are you talking about? Tell me what. Okay, you know the one champion I can think of that didn't really speak any English? Great Khali.
Yeah, you go,
And that was, look how people flip and talk about that. Tell me another character who's won the championship. You know, maybe people in the flipping golden era, Andre the Giant or whatever, and the only thing really people accepted that was because of his size. Everyone else, you had to flip and speak English, man.
Yeah, even that older managers, like even like Ted DiBiase, or like he managed Steve Austin. No, there's no one else here. You're right.
Interesting. I mean, I guess for me,
Sorry.
because I get.
Rant over.
I get where you're coming from 100%, but I guess for me, because I'm always gonna have a soft spot for Andrade.
Of course, you're gonna push him, I know you.
So no, I wasn't gonna.
You are gonna push him. Don't lie to yourself.
Actually, no, tell her, yeah. So I was gonna push
You're gonna shove it,
Andrade.
man.
I was gonna push Andrade. I was gonna bury.
Apollo.
No, I was gonna bury Lashley.
Oh yes.
And
Yeah.
fire Apollo.
Oh wow! I forgot that was the thing. Fire. You can fire Apollo.
So my thing with firing Apollo is I feel like if they were gonna take the shot on him or take that risk, they would have done it by now. Pull the trigger. They haven't done it.
But now
So
you're in
therefore-
control, so
Huh?
you can change that.
Nah,
Yeah.
I feel like at this point right now, pulling the trigger with him, is anyone gonna really care for it? It's kind of like we said with Ziggler.
Yeah.
It's like, is anyone gonna care for it? Is anyone gonna buy into it? It's like, yeah, he's United States champion right now, but even
Oh.
now, are people buying into it?
Are we considering current time when we're answering this question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like no one's really buying into him right now. So it's just like,
It's a wasted opportunity.
it's like, it's not even a wasted opportunity. It's just that they've already run his character into the ground. It's like, unless I repackage the entire thing, which is again is gonna take a whole bunch of effort and whatnot when I've got stars there already. So for me, it would just be push Andrade because I'm here for Andrade always. And then Lashley's there, and I guess given that he is a name as well, he's expendable, so I can just like use him however I want to. And then Apollo, and we wish you best on all future endeavors, and you can go be with your wife in AEW.
Let me ask you this quickly though. What is your opinion on the idea of pushing Lashley?
He's not a draw for me, and I'm not gonna lie, he's never been a draw for me. I was 100% a Lashley fan when they were pushing him. I didn't like
His first run.
ish, yeah, because I didn't like. I think was his. What's the time scale here? What was WrestleMania his last big thing before he left? So that unfortunate
The
bad
thing with the
match.
Umaga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that like Mandingo
I think
match?
so.
Was that?
Or was
the
that
last
before?
big thing,
Or was that before December to Dismember?
That's what I'm thinking. Like,
Yeah,
what,
that was after.
no,
Some of the men was EC. No, he went to ECW.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so that
Yeah.
big thing would have been that dumpster fire. That was what it was meant to be because he won the championship that night.
Is ECW.
No, but then what I'm getting at is what was the because my last straw for Lashley really was when he lost to John Cena.
Okay.
Oh, that
So-
was before all of that.
But so was that before everything? And then he went
Yeah.
to then he got the Battle of the Millionaires, and then
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
ECW.
yeah, yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
the time frame, right? Yeah, because my thing was that with Lashley, I was always a fan of him when he was on SmackDown, 100% rode for Lashley and whatnot. And I guess there was that brief moment when he was feuding with King Booker, and I was so kind of like here for it. But I think King Booker only won on technicalities, wasn't it? Someone get involved in their match or whatever.
Maybe.
So Lashley was like credible, I guess you could say. And then I guess he was on Raw at some point, and then Lashley was getting this big old push. I think they had a match at the first Vengeance Night of Champions where it was like a 5-person, like a cluster match or whatever, and Lashley did that thing where he dived over
Oh
the
yeah, I
ropes.
remember that. Yeah.
So they were pushing Lashley to be like this next big thing, and then it was at the Great American Bash. It was going to be like Lashley finally getting his single shot against John Cena, and at that point we're all over John Cena. So
Yeah.
it was like there's a chance that like we're gonna get like Lashley's gonna win. Like
Yeah.
Lashley's like John Cena's hardest competitor so far, even though like technically you're with Triple H, but it was like we're still gonna get it. Like everything's gonna it's gonna come down. We're gonna get new champion and whatnot. And then it was he was the one that was the first one to get the FU at the time off the ropes, and then he lost, and it was just like okay, I'm over this now. I'm over this.
They ran back to. So
Yeah, so then it was just like I was just over Lashley by that point. But Lashley has never since then, regardless of I guess what they want him to be, I've just never seen him as that. So it's just like you can make him a big name. Yes, when he was on indie scene, when he was at Impact, again I'm a fan, but I'm not gonna kind of watch a show because Lashley's in the world title match.
Cool.
Same way that him coming back now when you're saying that the main event is Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre for the W title. I'm like, is that a draw? For me personally, it's just like I don't feel like his name is a draw to me. But I'm still gonna be like, I'm gonna ride for him because in solidarity. But in terms of like, how I use him on the show, he can just be my expendable star.
Okay. So for me, I would actually agree with Mr. Rhymes. So I would actually push Andrade because I think he has untapped potential as well. Like, just get him a decent. Well, you got him a decent mouthpiece. It's just, I would use it more instead of like having little tiffs with Angel Garza.
Mind you, though, had you have said Angel, I would have preferred that because for me, out of the two of them, although again I ride for Andrade, I think that Angel's going to be the next star.
Well, he's meant to be the next Guerrero. That's what Vince is saying.
I feel like Angel Garza is going to be the one that takes off and just goes.
I need to see more from him because right now he's just it's just corny when he's doing this little flirtatious thing with Charlie, and I'm just
is he the one with the baby face?
No,
Like,
he's
he
got.
looks like he actually looks like a baby.
Yeah, he does
No,
that
that's
thing where he
Humberto.
strips it.
Humberto Carrero is the one with the baby face.
Oh, okay.
Like,
fair
Angel Garza is the one that he always comes to the ring and he like takes off his trousers in the match.
enough.
Or
Didn't
whatever.
he get kicked out? No, the other guy.
Yeah. No, that was Austin Theory.
Yeah, he got kicked out. And I don't know what he's doing right now, but he's doing
He
something.
is riding along Seth Rollins. He's part of that crew now.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow, yeah, recruiting.
Yeah, that happened on the same night. He got kicked out of that group, and then Seth he was just there sitting there on the side, and then Seth just held out his hand, and then he's part of the crew now. So it's
That
now
same
him.
episode, you sure?
Yeah,
Yes,
was that the
Seth,
same?
Seth
same
Rollins,
episode?
Buddy Murphy, and Austin Theory.
Yeah,
I need to bring back AOP.
I think that's.
Ish.
I would not be surprised if they get future endeavored right now, because there's just too much of a liability. They get a huge push, and then one of them gets a major injury, and they just don't
But you
bother
can't
with the
say
other one.
that. Like,
Yeah, they could have kept the other one. They could have.
But this is WWE though. Like,
It's not Dre that they hit, man.
To them, it seems so like they just can't live without the other. So,
No.
but yeah, I would definitely push Andrade. He has untapped potential. Barry Lashley, I mean, he's good. I think he's at an age right now that it'd be good to put over the good stars, and he puts on good matches. You know, especially if you use this gimmick that he has now. It's not corny, flipping cuckolding gimmick. This one is like a powerhouse. I like that. You could be used that to put over the younger talent, and then just fire Apollo. I think his star is going to come and gone. Like.
So I'm not a fan. It's just that you've been there, you've done that.
Yeah.
The trigger. Even if I was gonna try to be package him, it's like who's gonna believe it at this point? So it's just like what?
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next.
Yeah, and you really have Lashley. I always compare him to Lashley, and I really shouldn't because Apollo's more athletic than Lashley.
Lashley's
But
powerhouse.
they both ain't really good on the mic. They have similar kind of builds, and I'm fine with just one. And finally, the last person, last three guys, who would you push, bury, or fire? Rey Mysterio, Seth Rollins, Drake Maverick.
Oh my god. Well, then this is an obvious one.
That's unfair.
This is a very obvious one. Only because me personally, like, regardless of who sees this, I just don't really care for Drake Maverick. I really have done. So therefore, for me, it's gonna be I'll push Seth Rollins, push Seth Rollins, Barry Mysterio, fire Drake Maverick.
What's that? Like a random machine that did it for you?
No, this is.
You're just picking stars. Why would you put like
push
Drake
Seth
Maverick?
Rollins? Push Seth Rollins. Obviously, Barry Mysterio.
He's already got the title.
Fire Drake Maverick.
Yeah.
Like,
What again?
yeah, it's just you rehire him.
Oh my god.
It's like, and my thing is it's not even to say that I just
But
don't-
even if he wasn't fired before, like out of the three, like what?
Yeah.
He's tiny, bro. Like you know. Like,
So is Rey Mysterio. He's
no, he's
tiny.
not. Rey Mysterio is bigger than
Rey
Drake
Mysterio is
Maverick,
a
bro.
name.
Like,
Rey Mysterio is a name. Seth Rollins is a name. Drake Maverick is a who? It's just like
Then make him somebody then. That's a
Why?
good
that's the
push.
thing. But
I don't have time to make
how
him
far
someone.
can you really push Drake Maverick that's believable? Forget about his character. Forget about his name. Just
People cared about him when he got fired. So
Yeah, but can you look? Okay, forget about everything that Drake has done in the past.
Right.
Yeah, just look at him. He's a new person that just walked through the door. His look. You're telling me you can believe that guy being world champion?
over the Sigma.
Now, a push doesn't necessarily mean world champion. You could be pushed in the mid card, like better used as the US champion, whatever. But can you even see that with him?
If Santino Morella can do it, then so can fucking.
No, but see, weirdly enough, as a comedy act, I felt like Santino had potential to even go further, but they just they kind of kept him too gimmicky.
But then this is the discussion about.
Guy was in the elimination chamber. He almost became world champion.
That was fun. This is the discussion about what is pushing them, because some would say people like Santino or Heath Slater got pushed very highly as a comedy act,
Right.
but other people would look at the whole scope of that and say that's not a push, that's them low of the card. So it depends how you look at it. Like, yeah, I think Drake Maverick could be pushed as a great comedy act, but I'm not. I don't know.
Wasn't he a comedy actor? The whole wife been consummating his marriage.
Yeah, exactly.
He is a comedy
So technically, you could say that's a push, but I'm thinking push in the sense of star. Who you
Oh,
pushing
well,
to
yeah,
be a star?
I'm not even going to use him.
I
in
don't
that
see
way.
Drake as a star.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think Drake sees himself as a star.
Okay, fair enough.
So what?
Wait,
did you say
was you different?
What?
Was you different?
Yeah, what did you say yours was?
I said, well, I didn't say anything, but I said I was going to Barry. Look like you're gonna fling your phone at me. I was gonna bury Rey Mysterio, fire Seth Rollins.
Whoa!
And push Drake Maverick. Yeah.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
Wait,
Whoa, man
you wanted to fire Seth.
Seth Rollins over Drake, you know?
Mind you, though, if you're gonna put it in the conversation that we just had about the ones with prior, it's like, yeah, Seth Rollins has got nothing else to do. He's done everything. So at this point, if you're gonna like make a new star, then yeah, it makes sense. It's just I would have preferred a different name than Drake Maverick.
I'm just so over Seth Rollins. Ever since the Fiend feud, I do not care for him. I mean, sure he's got this Messiah thing going on, and it's cool. But then the lead up to it, when he was saying that he wasn't part of the attacks, and that feud with Kevin Owens, and then that dumbass reveal when he spun around, and then I'm so over him.
So are you where you are with Seth Rollins now? Is that how everyone else was with Roman Reigns?
No, because Reigns is different. Because Reigns was literally shoved down our throats.
And Seth Rollins isn't?
Not necessarily. Not Reigns level. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I just think the way that he's been booked in very corny situations, like the thing where he was forced with when it was him and Becky as the power couple, and he had that, and they were forced to be tag teaming, and then the stuff with it was just how he's been booked.
Yeah, people turned on him when he started that feud with the second feud with Lesnar, I think. And he was like mocking him, how he sounds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily that he's being forced down our throats. He is being forced a little bit. He's being pushed as the guy, but not as much as Reigns. But on top of that, you know when someone is trying to be funny and they're just not funny.
Yes.
I do feel like that too.
Yes. 110%. So yeah, because of
Which
that.
is why some might say he's better as a heel.
Oh, he's better than a heel. I prefer him as a heel.
I do prefer him as a heel, but I have to say I'm not with this Monday Night Messiah thing. I feel like for me, it could have been portrayed differently. Yeah, I don't necessarily need him to literally be a Monday Night Messiah, but he could have been like an arrogant SOB with it, and I think I would have bought into that more.
Yeah, and that's how it started before he switched to like God. What I will say is, one of you said that he's better as a heel. He is, but his run as a babyface with the Intercontinental Championship, best face on the show at that time.
It was, but I hated that he was Intercontinental Champion, but it was only kind of like that championship was the placeholder because Lesnar wasn't there.
Yeah, but in addition to that, his matches were just 5-star every night on Raw. Like he was just. But as a face, as a main eventer with the Universal Championship, it doesn't hit as hard.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyways, game done.
So yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. Terrible choice for the final one, but hey.
Terrible choice. Yeah, I was just like, let me just.
So now this one, you're the one that is on your own. How does it feel?
It's fine. It's so good. I don't give a damn. That's fine.
So I had two. You had two. You got one. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
That's fine. That's fine. So yeah. If you're anything, leave your comments on below and say who would you push, fire, or bury. Yeah, that is the game.